All right, so what's going on, everybody? It's Miles. Today I want to talk about bulking because I've gotten a lot of questions from people asking me, hey, how do you like to bulk? Some people ask me, what is bulking? And you know what? I want to start with that question right there. So what is bulking? Bulking is when you're eating a surplus of calories in an attempt to gain muscle mass. All right. So with that being said, there's a lot of people out there that like to say, hey, sometimes you know what, guys? I think I'm on a clean bulk right now. You might hear that term. Or guys, you know what? I'm just bulking and I'm eating everything in sight. So those are two completely different styles of bulking. When someone says that they want a clean bulk, well, essentially what they're referring to is they want to have a nutrient-rich diet, all right? When they're eating a caloric surplus. So they're eating a surplus of calories, however, they're eating it in a healthy fashion. And when they're using nutrient-rich foods and they're using things that people always tell you, they're using a lot of veggies, they're using a lot of complex carbohydrates. However, one note is, if you decide to undergo a clean bulk, something that's very important is, and I think that deters a lot of people from it is, you have to eat way more than you eat if you're doing if you're just traditionally bulking and eating a ton of food. Because a lot of the clean foods that are notorious don't have a ton of calories. So what does that mean for us? That means we have to consume more of them in order to get the same exact results on a caloric level. What happens is when you're bulking, all right, when you're traditionally done with bulking, a lot of people like to go through this phase called cutting. All right, bulking and cutting, before I continue, are two bro terms that were made up. All right, there's no scientific term called bulking. There's no scientific term called cutting. Cutting, people like to refer to when they're in an attempt to lose fat, and bulking they like to refer to when they're in an attempt to gain muscle mass. All right, so if you switch from the traditional style and at the end of it you try to transition into cutting, you lose, if you're not doing it correctly, a lot of muscle mass. All right, so what some people like to do is to reduce the amount of muscle mass, that they're losing. They like to reduce the amount of fat they put on when they're gaining the muscle mass to begin with, which is what we call it clean bulking. All right, so that's why, in my opinion, that's why I do it. The amount of meals you consume in a day, is very important actually, because if you consume a lot of meals throughout your day, like 5 to 6, 7 meals a day, your body begins to remember these meals, all right? And it remembers these intervals at which you eat at. So if your body expects another meal to be coming in within an hour or two, what it's gonna do is it's not gonna retain as much fat in that time. So, but if you're someone who eats like 3 times a day, your body, to keep itself nourished, it'll hold a lot of fat. So let's say I eat at 8 o'clock in the morning, I eat at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I eat at 8 o'clock at night. All right, your body knows, hey, I'm not going to be getting more nutrients until, let's say, this 5-hour time frame or a 6 or 7 hour time frame. So what your body does is it holds on to some of these nutrients so that in these gaps between your meals, it stays nourished and it can still complete all its necessary function. Next thing I like to talk on is supplements. So the supplements that I like to use personally when I'm bulking is protein. Protein's a big one. Some people don't like protein, some people like it. Here's the reason I like it. When you go, most gyms don't have a microwave there. And on top of that, food has to be broken down into your system and then processed, versus liquid is a tad easier. All right. So with that being said, the protein can get into your bloodstream a little bit faster. The next thing is creatine. So creatine is, I'd say, very important for me and when bulking, just because creatine, it allows you to put on more muscle mass onto your body. However, it does come with a little bit of a caveat, and you have to put on a little bit more water weight when you're on creatine, which sometimes deters people, and they get depressed when they get off creatine and they see their weight come down and everything. But you have to remember ultimately the goal that was in mind, which was to put on muscle mass. And the third one is branched chain amino acids, or commonly referred to as BCAAs. So the thing for BCAAs is, BCAAs, I would recommend them if you're not on a budget. What I would say is BCAAs are a great tool for lifters in general and for people who are trying to bulk. Simply because what BCAAs do is they increase your rate of protein synthesis in your body. All right, so essentially what this means is when you go lift, you create tears in your body. So by creating these tears in your body, you're essentially you're creating stress in your muscles and you're injuring yourself, all right, in a micro aspect. So by injuring yourself, what your body does is it goes ahead and it sends blood flow to this area. In this blood flow, we have a lot of nutrients in our blood, all right? So then what your body's gonna do is it's gonna build these muscles back up larger and stronger than before. So that's how our muscles grow. When you take BCAAs, they essentially make your protein more effective, I'd say, and increase the rate of protein synthesis. And that's why I personally like to take them, especially when bulking, all right? So if this video helped you guys out a lot, I want you to subscribe to the channel. I want you to leave comments under the video. And I'm gonna try to really focus on making 1 to 2 videos a week, because I'm starting to realize that my videos don't really have to be crazy workout videos or difficult videos. I just want things that people can relate to. So when you're on my channel, I want you to be able to relate to all the videos that you see on here. And I don't want it to be like other people's channels where they just have them doing 500 pounds or 400 pounds and things like that. I mean, that can't help us. So I want to make something that can help everybody. So by giving valuable knowledge and also by showing exercises that you guys can do, I'm going to shut up, all right? And I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll catch you guys next week. Bye.